Hello, all you folks out there, and welcome again to another edition of Games Equal Life. Now, here on this edition of Games Equal Life, I'm going to be talking about one thing: the console wars. Who's winning? Who's losing? Who do you think's winning or losing? Because the choice usually comes down to what platform you prefer, and that's usually the term that everyone thinks of it in. Well, me personally, myself, rep the PlayStation 4, so I'm always a little bit biased towards that. But I'm going to include all the other systems in this because, just because. There are so many different types of gamers and so many platforms that I'm going to talk about them all so everyone's bases are covered. Now, we'll start off with my system, the PlayStation 4. Currently, they are on top of the market in both performance and in sales, dwarfing the Xbox in pretty much every category. Now, the performance of the PlayStation 4 also surpasses that of the Xbox in many areas. There are a couple areas where the Xbox has some benefits over the PlayStation 4, but more than not, it leans towards the PlayStation 4 on that matter. The Xbox is planning on coming back with their new release of their next system. They're basically saying that it's going to be, the next gen, that it's leagues above what they're currently producing. But there's a lot of hype about it, and currently, as far as what they're saying, it could go either way. Xbox fans run hype, saying it's going to be the greatest thing ever, and, other people, say they're just running game. It's just another system. And while it is going to be superior to the current system, it is not going to dwarf the new PlayStation's new release of their updated PlayStation 4. So, who's winning the console wars once those two new updated systems comes out? I don't know. We'll have to wait and see for those to come out, but as always, I am going to be sticking with the PlayStation 4. Now, we have the third player in the game, the PC. I like to call them the PC master race, as a lot of people out there do, because PC users tend to kind of feel like they're better than the rest of console users. Not all of them. There's a lot of good PC users out there who are really cool about it, but there are a lot of jerkwads too who are just act as if because they use a gaming PC that they had built personally for them, that they're better than the rest of us. And that just makes them jerks, right? Now, with the PC, of course there are advantages that come with using a PC over a modern platformer. Platformers are mass-produced and sent out in record numbers to all the people who want to game. But PCs, on the other hand, can be custom tailored and personalized for gaming or whatever activity that you use them for, whether it be video editing, movie making, video gaming, running numbers for your company. Regardless of what it is, the PC can be customized specifically for that need, and that's the benefit of using a PC. But there's a problem that comes with that. The thing that comes up with a lot of PC users is a lot of the things that they use in their top flight gaming systems for their PCs basically dwarf the current running system, because unlike a current one of the platform systems where you have to wait for the new additions to come out, with a PC, it's as simple as buying a new part and either knowing how to install that part yourself or having someone else install it. So you can constantly upgrade it whenever you feel like it. And that tends to be the benefit to using a PC, and why a lot of times games that are transferred over into the PC realm do not meet up with the standards that the PC users tend to like. They're like, no, my PC can handle so much more than that. Why doesn't, this game come with, the graphics that my card is capable of outputting? Well, that's because the current platforms do not have that capability. You know, it's nice that you upgraded it to that level, but that doesn't mean that every game in the world has to make an upgraded version of every game just to fit your specific needs because you were willing to go out and buy that upgraded piece of hardware. That's on you. You can't complain that the rest of the world isn't conforming to the small percentage that is you. Now, with all of that said, what platform for gaming do I think is the best? Honestly, for me, PlayStation has owned it for a while. Nintendo, they used to be at the top of the game. Honestly, before PlayStation, it was Nintendo for me. They had it back from Super Nintendo all the way into the era of the 64, but after the 64, it was just a downward spiral, and pretty much everything they've come out with since then has been kind of abysmal. I kind of like the GameCube. It did have some pretty good games on it, but even then, a lot of times they shipped out a lot of really big failures of games, just games that did not turn out the way that people hoped they did. Hopefully with the Nintendo Switch coming into the lineup for the new systems, Nintendo can bounce back from its abysmal streak of failures that it's had, and we can see them rejoin the platform race with the rest of the gamers out here. But Nintendo will always be a family corporation, so I think it highly unlikely that most of their material is going to fit our adult standards as far as horror games and first-person shooters. They're just not made for that purpose. You know, they tend to make family-oriented games that people can play, you know, with their children. So a lot of our favorite games as adults are not going to be on their system, and thus they're not going to make those adult sales like the rest of the systems and platforms. Now that I've included all the systems coming out and what's going on, currently I am running with PlayStation simply because they have the best selection. Their hardware keeps getting better. Hopefully the next platform that they're releasing is going to be up to par with what they say it is, because they're saying it's phenomenal, and I'm hoping they're right. But the PlayStation Pro, you know, just like the Xbox, is going to be wrapped in a lot of hype. They're going to be telling you it's the greatest thing ever, but how much we can actually expect from that, it's going to be wavery. So we'll see when it comes out, but I'm currently rocking PlayStation, and that's my personal opinion. If yours differs, that's on you. If I do have one thing to add in, I really hope that the PlayStation gets off their ass and learns to include the ability to play music while you're playing the game. That's the only thing from the Xbox that I really want to come to the PlayStation. Just let me listen to the music while I'm playing the game. It would make the whole thing so much easier. I would love to be in a first-person shooter just gunning things to my favorite songs. And I know a lot of Xbox players probably have Xbox just for that reason, but for me, it wasn't enough to stay with the Xbox. There's just too much going on for the PlayStation 4 world right now. Now, this has been another edition of Games Equal Life. Please comment, like, subscribe.